I just want to make this message, and I just want to talk about this message real quick. This is just something I've been feeling on my heart majority of probably within the last, I've been feeling something within the last 2 days, and I just wanted to mention this. I know this doesn't have like any relevancy to, you know, who you are and what you are, but I know this message might hit home for some saints, and this message might hit home for sinners, because a lot of saints and sinners have an issue with smoking. And this is just something I'm discerning in the spirit, and I'm picking up something in terms of the cigarette smoke, and also the smoke in general. Now, I do know tobacco products, they do have carcinogens in them, but I'm also discerning that yeast is going to be an uprising issue in the last days. I don't know what it is, but I do feel like there is some type of fungus that is in association with cigarette smoke. And this is just something that I'm discerning spiritually, that I am picking up, that I'm beginning to see. And I do know that the Bible does speak about in the last days there's going to be several things that's going to be coming up on the up on the earth as a sign of rebellion to those that are rebellious, and that those that need to come away from sin need to separate from sin. But I also am sensing something. This is just something that I am discerning, because I in the past I was a smoker. Once I got delivered and set free, I just went cold turkey, and this was back in the early parts of the maybe like 2013, 2014, 2015. I was a smoker, and the Lord delivered me from smoking. And one day I was just driving, and I was like, I'm just over this. I'm not going to do this anymore. And I stopped smoking. That was my first time stopped smoking. This is just my personal testimony. And then I went back into smoking, and this was when I was going through a trial in my life. And the trial, because I was suffering with pain, the trial I used the menthol as a way to support my pain and suffering. But I began to notice some shifts in my health, and I began to notice some sudden changes, and I was like, something just is not registering here. But I was sensing something, because I was in a place today, and I was just discerning something. And this is just what I'm discerning. This is not anything that the Lord is per se giving to me, but this is just something that I am discerning. This is not a prophecy, and I do want to state this is not a prophecy, but what I'm discerning is that there is a fungus and something in the tobacco, and I believe that something is forming from the tobacco, and I believe it's because of due to rebellion and due to sin from excessive tobacco smoking. And the cigarette smoke and the tobacco is creating fungus in environments such as like houses, rooms, etc. And also things like that, you know, are in the ground, like kombucha and all of those things. I am getting a revelation that it's simply not good for us. The kombucha, the mushrooms, the things that are just simply the ground items that are just simply not good, such as the cabbage and different things, because those carry just different things. And I'm just getting a discernment that those things are not fruitful. And this is just something that I'm personally saying spiritually. The tobacco is a hindrance in general, because they have always stated that tobacco products is in context is bad for your health, because carcinogens are not good for you in general, and it causes cancers and different things in the body, and just plainly just not good for your lungs as far as the cycling of your lungs. I do know, like, once I sought my deliverance with cigarette smoking, I noticed like 2 or 3 weeks my lungs began to clear out, and I had a lot of excess mucus, I struggled a lot. I noticed my lips was changing in colors. It was changing to color black, and now I have full course of my lip colors. My lips are not black. It's like my natural colors have come back, and my natural pigmentations in my mouth has come back. I don't have any burnt marks on my skin, burnt marks underneath my nails, the bad smoke, smell on my breath. I'm grateful for that, because that was like one of the harboring issues in terms of for me, ideally, in dealing with those things. They were just becoming a hindrance to me, and it was a thorn to my flesh. And so I simply want to say this. I am discerning something with the tobacco products, and that tobacco products can become a adverse effect in our health in the last days. I do want to say this, and if you are someone who is a sinner, who is struggling with smoking, ask the Lord to deliver you from smoking. They do have different things that teaches you can help you as far as bridling yourself and helping yourself. You can find help in the scriptures. You also can depend on the xylitol and different things to keep you from smoking, and some of the tobacco cessation things to help you stop smoking. I know a lot of people have tended to use like candies and mints and different things to kind of help them kill the cessation. I do know the candies kind of cause cavities, but at the end of the day, you have to assess what do you want, in this hour. And I'm just discerning that, this is an hour to run in, and that we need to come. If you are a smoker, you need to come to the Lord completely with a full heart, because the smoking is very, very bad to your health, and it's a hindrance to your soul. It's a hindrance to your spiritual journey, your spiritual walk. And not just that, it's just the fact that I'm just discerning that they're doing other things with the tobacco products in this hour, and that my concern is just the fungus coming from the tobacco product, and something in Revelation to yeast. So I do want to say that I'm not here to spread any fear or anything of that nature, but the thing of it is sin separates us from God, and we want to come away from the things that sin frustration to him, and a lot of the frustration comes from us through our flesh and our flesh desires, and the things that become a hindrance in our walk, in our journey with being righteous. And a lot of times it can just be simple things like the things that we cause up and bring upon ourselves. But I just wanted to share that this is not something that I spiritually received a prophecy on, but it's just something that I basically am discerning, me personally, in this hour, that there is more to discuss in terms of the tobacco products. And the tobacco plant and the tobacco industries is not really stressing the seriousness of tobacco cessation in this hour. And I just simply think that the ground and the land is just getting corrupt, because we are in the last days, and there are a lot of things that are forming upon the earth. And it's just a revelation that I'm seeing, that I personally We'll be coming away from kombucha products, mushrooms, things like that. Those things that are like in the element, I will not be partaking of those. I will not be partaking anymore of cabbage, and I definitely will not be partaking in any tobacco smoking, because I'm not a tobacco smoker anymore, and I don't plan on going back to tobacco smoking anymore. But I do want to say spiritually what I am discerning, there is something deeper underneath that tobacco, and I believe in my mind and my heart says something is not really well in the tobacco, and I believe it's yeast. I want to say it's yeast, and because yeast has such a divine, interesting smell. If you want to test it out, this is just somebody who is just a smoker. Wait until it breathes in an environment where it's wet. Wait till it breathes in an environment where it it has been molded. You'll begin to see that some things are start to fester containing to that. And this is just my revelation. If you are somebody who don't like breads, or you already have pre-existing health conditions and you are a smoker, you may want to look at checking your levels to see if it's something going on specifically in the tobacco product that's causing the yeast. But I sense there is something in the tobacco that is causing yeast, and I'm going to tell you this: run away from cigarette smoke. And cigarette smokes, cigarettes in general, cigarette carcinogens, tobacco carcinogens. It's time to kill those, and especially if you are a saint, you know that those things keep us walking in opposition with God. And if you're a sinner and you're simply just wanting to come in the direction of the Lord right now, he said lay aside every weight. So those things that become weighted in your spirit, in your mind, because we've gotten to a state of complacency. And in this hour, we don't want to be complacent in who we are. We know that we are in the last days, and we understand that there are some people who are suffering things that are struggles. That's one of the reasons why it's important to lean on the Lord in this hour, concerning things that you are struggling to break in your flesh, and that it's nothing too hard for God to do. It's nothing too hard for him to fix. And that might be your crossing point, to say, yes, I'm willing to give up all of the things that I don't need, that are becoming a hindrance to me and me getting to the place that I need to get to. But I just thought I wanted to share that. And if you want to comment, send a comment down below. I'm interested in knowing what your thoughts are in pertaining to the message that I have sent out today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.